Hey guys, welcome. Muscular Podcast, episode number 295. Guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for telling a friend. Thanks for telling anybody. You can actually help us with our new marketing campaign of what I like to call Sharpie in the bathroom. If anybody would love to put our text number down, our Lunge and Lures text line number, 606-776-6729. And while you're in the bathroom, say you're in the urinal or the stall, and write that on the wall and just put text for a good time. I would love to see what I get. So maybe check that out for me. That would be kind of fun. But it is our Lunge and Lures text line. Lunge and Lures, makers of the 22 short, 22 long, 22 SS, the big old 50 cal. They've got a ton of different baits, guys. Check them out at lungeandlures.com. Excuse me, as well as their spinners, the DC9, DC10, and the original Lunge and Tails, and the Buster spinnerbait. So again, Lunge and Lures text line is 606-776-6729. And tonight's podcast is brought to you by Thorn Brothers. Guys, if you're wanting to find some new stuff, it's getting Christmas time, getting the holiday season, and you would like to buy your significant other maybe some new musky baits, maybe a new rod, some reel, electronics, any of that, check out thornbros.com. THORENE. Sorry. Tucker, spell it.
THORNEBROS.com, Greg.
All right. Well, that's enough from you. Check them out at thornbros.com. All right. It's right there in Minneapolis. You can come over and all kinds of good stuff. Plus ice fishing. They've got a lot of ice fishing stuff there. Something I am really bad at. But it's going to be stuff that you can find there, so make sure you check it out. On tonight's podcast, you guys are really lucky or going to be super disappointed. Either one, you will have a feeling. We've got three guys on here. We've got Michael Hanson up in the Hayward area. We got Jordan Stokes, who's there in the cities. And we've got Tucker Swanson because somebody had to take him. But Tucker just got back from a trip to Lake Vermilion. He's going to tell us a little bit about that, and I'm just going to sit here and listen because I want to hear what these guys are doing. So, but first off, how are you guys doing tonight?
Good. How about you, Greg?
I'm doing good. I'm watching the countdown to the Tyson Paul fight tonight. Now I'm watching two guys, one in red, black shorts and one in pink shorts with cats on it. Fighting, I guess, the first card. I have no idea who these people are, but I don't know. I'm just waiting for the Tyson Paul fight, the young white guy versus old black man bout, and see how that's gonna go. But I would love to see Mike Tyson just knock the living dog fuck out of his head. That is what I would like. I think that was funny. They had a Vanda Holyfield on here earlier, and do you guys even remember when Mike Tyson bit his ear off?
No, too young.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I wasn't alive yet.
Oh God, that makes me sad.
Yeah,
but Evander had both his ears, so apparently they sewed it back really nice. So that was good. But let's talk a little bit about fishing. Let's talk about something that you guys supposedly know something about. Tucker, you were up at Vermilion this week. How did that go? I've heard that it's been decent up there. I tried to get Luke Ronestrand on here, but he's no good. He's doing his Remember the Titans tonight at a football game. Up there cheering on, face painted, all that good stuff. What's happening at Vermilion?
So it's kind of that pre-spawn bite still. There were a bunch of Cisco's around, but they weren't really up on top of the spots yet. But so it was a lot of that 10 to 15 foot gravelly flat stuff, the classic stuff up there going on.
Yeah. How did you guys do?
So we fished. We ended up getting 3 full days of fishing in. We had 2 half days. One because us traveling up there and getting there at the crack of 1 in the afternoon.
Nice.
Little bearing change on 35 didn't help. Stuart showing up to my house at 9 a.m. didn't help. So
what did you take your boat?
Start. Yeah, we took my boat.
Oh no, the Ranger had a broke leg.
Oh yeah, broke leg. She has a broken chair still. But off season's coming quick, so we might actually fix it.
So what's going on? Did you have to replace the bearing?
Yeah. But I had one already pre-built, full hub assembly, pre-built. So
nice.
We were able to get it done in like 30 minutes and then get on out of there.
Nice. That's good. Where'd you break down at?
So right on 35.
Yeah.
Yep. Semis going by at 70 miles an hour.
Sure.
5 feet from you. It was fun. It was really fun.
Yeah.
Blowing our hats off. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yep.
I've been there. Trust me. I have been there. What the other one? Did it just melt or did the wheel fly off?
Wheel was just wobbly.
Oh, okay.
I definitely, as soon as I jacked it up, I didn't have to unscrew any of it to get the tire off. I just pulled it off.
Jeez.
Nice.
Jeez.
So did it hurt the spindle?
Easy.
Did you hurt the spindle at all, or that all good?
No, I think the spindle's hurt. That thing is, my trailer is a bearing crusher.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's what year is yours?
But it gets you good at it.
Yeah, I mean,
you have to do it 4 times a year, 5 times a year. You end up getting pretty good and pretty quick with it. So
nice. I need you to do mine because I'm sure mine's awful. But I get mine changed every 6 months. That's the way I've got it now. I don't even care if they're bad or not. I just tell them just replace them because I've been broke down in every state between here and Kentucky. I have been broken down. I've had AAA get me in every state. So I know all the little tricks to that. My best is when I was coming through Chicago one time, like right through downtown. I didn't know it. And my hydraulics went out of my motor, and my motor was down the entire time. And I ground the entire skag off driving through downtown Chicago.
Oh, my God.
And I like go to a stop at this rest area, and I'm like, that's not what that looked like.
I had a buddy do that when he was on the phone with me on 494 in the cities here. He's like, I'm getting honked at and my motor's going back and forth, so I'm going to call you back.
Yes. Yes. I've been there. It's one of those experiences, but all right. Well, so Vermilion seems to be you guys got there, you did 3 days. What else happened?
So we ended up going 1 for 5 on bites, so a tough hookup percentage for us. Yep. Luke said that they were slashing at it, but I think he said that to make us feel better.
Yeah.
And we just need to get better at getting hooks into big rubber baits into them. It was all on big rubber. All of our bites were on. I was throwing a monster Medusa in the back, and Stuart got his bite on a Ultra Dog in the front.
Okay. What? Who had the most bites?
I did. I had 4 of the 5.
Oh wow! So they like the. Do you think it was the Medusa falling slower, or do you think it was,
You're just able to fish it so much slower, and those long pauses need to be a big thing in the fall. So I think that had a lot to do with it. I was able to just kind of hang out down by the bottom, very slow, a lot longer than he could.
Oh, okay. Okay. Did you guys see any big fish?
Yeah, I actually had one that was definitely over 50. So I caught a 47-incher, and then the next spot I had one up that was probably in that low 50 range, 50 to 52, something like that. And it ended up eating twice on like the 3rd and 5th turn of a figure 8.
Mm-hmm.
And gone, never even got a hook in it. And then we moved another one that was even bigger than that one, our last day there yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Leading into the major, and it sounds like I was talking with Luke, and it sounds like he lost a big one that day too.
Yeah. Well,
But
isn't that nice?
other than that, there's a lot of the fish. I don't think we saw anything under, like, nothing in the 30-inch range, like maybe one low 40-incher, and the rest were all, we probably encountered somewhere between 10 and 12 fish up to the boat, and all of them were between, or like 45 inches and above. There's
Nice.
a lot of really nice fish moving around.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Well, good deal. What about you, Jordan? How's you fishing down the cities or?
Yeah. Been on Minnetonka now, doing suckers here for the last 2.5, 3 weeks or so.
Okay.
Yeah, sucker bite's actually been really, really good this year.
Okay.
Last year and the year before, it was kind of tough for me personally. But this year has been really good. We've been able to get one a day on a pretty regular basis, and getting anywhere from 1 to 3 bites a day if we're doing an 8-hour trip. And we're having the weirdest. They're a lot shallower this year than they were last year. So we're getting a lot of fish in like 6 to 8 feet of water that are eating suckers this year, which is very weird. In past years, it's been the lake flips. We get to deep weed edges next to deep water and run that stuff. And there is fish there, but the fish that I've been able to get to bite have been in that 6 to probably 10 foot range right in the greenest weeds you can find, which sucks for running suckers, trying to keep them out of them weeds. But if you can keep them out of them weeds, I've been catching some really quality fish in pretty shallow water this year, next to moving water. That's been kind of the key.
So the channel
try
stuff?
to find, channel stuff. But the channel stuff has been really good, but it's been like the stuff right outside the channel. So you're not in it, but you're in the mouth of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's been really, really, really good this year. And then during the broad daylight is when I'll go out on the main lake and start, like midday, anywhere from 10 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll get on the main lake and work deep edges. And then during them low light hours, I'll slide into that 6 to 8 foot, slide my bobber all the way down to I run the Gregg Thomas. I run your rigs through stealth tackle.
Loser.
What's that? Loser. No, yeah, they suck.
Yes.
I mean, they're terrible,
yes.
But I still use them.
No. You're the one.
No, those things. Yeah, I'm the one. No, those things have been incredible. So I've been running those things, and I'll slide the sinker and the bobber right down to the leader, and then I'll actually hold on to one rod and put one straight out the back of the boat about 80 feet back, 60 feet back,
mm-hmm.
and then I'll hold on to one rod and just kind of run them through all that narrow shit that's real shallow.
Sure.
And in low light situations, we've been catching a lot of fish in like that 6 to 10 foot of super green weeds, like right in the weeds, just pulling the suckers right through that stuff.
Sure. All right. Well, that's pretty cool. Probably because of I would assume the shallow stuff might be a little better considering this abnormally warm fall that we've had.
Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it. Our weeds on our lake here on Tonka, they never died all winter. And then they stayed green all spring. And then I caught fish shallow all year on Minnetonka. So then I just decided to do that sucker fishing, and they were still up in them green weeds shallow. So there's still fish on deep edges. But what I'm finding is everybody in the cities, as soon as it's October 10th or right around that time frame, everybody's sucker fishing, and everybody's working the same areas. They're working deep edges. They're working channels. They're working areas that have fish, which they're catching. But if I have clients in the boat, I didn't want to be next to 6 other boats. So I started fishing around the mouths of these areas, and I found that the fish there'd be 1 or 2 up in the channels, but there'd be 6 or 7 of them outside of it.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of staged and waiting. And then in low light, they would roll up in there.
Sure.
And that's kind of what I found was that you could fish them out in the mouth of that thing during the day, let everybody else work the channels during the day, and then everybody else would load their boats and go home. And when the sun sets, that's when I'll roll up in the channels and catch them. Really pretty shallow.
Nice. Well, it's a good little pattern to have. Mike, you're up there in the Hayward area. What's going on up there?
The bite's been pretty damn good lately. Been very, very happy. October was pretty poor with the warm conditions, but now we're starting to see a little bit of true fall weather moving in here. The fishing's been pretty damn good. Anywhere, kind of the same thing like what Jordan was saying. We're almost getting one good solid fish a day, with the exception of a few bad days.
Mm-hmm.
And some days they're really, really on them. Getting 3 to 5 bites a day on suckers, and then a few casts and beavers. The Beaver XL has been hot in the boat this fall. The Beaver XL.
Really? Oh, okay. Awesome. Is that the you using the Lake Edition one, or are you using the one that you drill the weight into?
Nope, I'm using the one that they drill the weight into. I have the weight in there. I don't even know how much weight I'm really running in there, to be honest with you. I'm not too. I don't really look at that stuff all that much. I just kind of looked at it and was like, yeah, that looks cool. And then I also put a bell sinker right on the nose of that thing too. I don't know where I saw it. I saw it somewhere online. So that thing, when you rip it, it makes that nice knocking sound against that plastic head.
Do you put a hook up there near the head, or you just run them the way they're made?
Nope. I've just been running that bell sinker up there. Otherwise, there's just too much stuff.
Yeah.
And honestly, I've ran that front hook on those beavers in Minnesota because they seem to headhunt it a little bit more. Our fish are definitely either T-boning it or nipping it in the back, casting this late into the season, with the exception of a few bites. But most of the time, it's nothing too crazy. No real like headshot, like inhaling the bait sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. What do you find the fish in? Are you still fishing weed some, or is it more rock stuff for you, or cribs, or?
Yeah, I'm doing mainly deeper stuff that first break out into that, that first break where it dumps into the mud. Primarily looking for deeper rock, but I am finding fish in weeds too. I just don't really care for weed spots all that much, just because it can kind of go on and on and on,
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of these lakes. And when you get on rock points, you can really find, you're either on fish or you're not, and you move on and go. But these fish are moving. They're insanely shallow, much like what Jordan was saying, too. But don't get me wrong, I'm catching a lot of fish out in that first break, but it is amazing how many fish we are pulling off of the shallow rocks that are adjacent to that deep water. And I think those fish are mainly up there sunning themselves, but they are definitely feeding as well.
Sure. Oh, God, there's Jake Paul. God, I hate you. Oh. Walking in like an idiot. Spraying himself with something yellow. It looks like a big bottle of Pam he's spraying himself with. Disgusting. Anyway, so Tucker, you're up there, Vermilion. You're mainly doing casting.
Yep.
You guys are casting up there. Now, let's talk about it. You're throwing that big rubber. What kind of rod, are you throwing that with, and line, reel? What would you tell the guys?
So I actually went prepared for this one, and I actually didn't need to be because I've got stuck with the whole freezing up, especially when you keep your line on all year and it's just
who is coughing?
Not me.
Not me.
Me.
All right, I was going to say someone is coughing. All right, anyway, continue.
I'm trying to hold the phone away.
Continue, Tucker. That's very rude.
I actually was preparing myself this year, so I actually respooled a couple reels just in case it got really cold, and it was really only freezing overnight one night, and it was kind of done with by, I don't know, half hour after sunrise. It was above freezing again, so we never really had to worry about freezing. But I switched everything to Power Pro from Master Braid. Power Pro just seems to take on less water, so you have less freezing issues.
And break easier.
Yep, it does break easier. We did cast off one bait.
Does not surprise me. That what is the deal with that stuff? Why does it break?
I don't know.
I have. Does anybody else use that? Jordan, Mike?
I have it on some of my trolling rods until I lost a headlock.
Exactly. What the hell is? I mean, it's made by Acme. It's terrible. What about you,
Yeah.
Mike? What line are you using?
No, I'm not running that. I'm running that Finn's braid. I've been pretty happy with it for the past couple of years.
The Finns?
So.
Oh, they're a Kentucky company. Of course
Yep.
they're good. Congratulations.
Yeah, right. Kentucky.
Thank you. Thank
No.
you. You're welcome. That's what I will say. Yeah, I don't know. Me and Power Pro, I know likey. It know likey, I know likey. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. But anyway, Tucker, it works for you. I know.
Yep.
I'm ugly, you're pretty, whatever. So what were you doing there now? You spooled up with some Power Pro. What pound test you using?
I did 100.
100, and you cast it off 100, huh?
Yep, I think it was Stuart who casted it off.
Well, he's an idiot. That's why.
Yeah, his rod was sounding kind of weird, and we think that he nicked a guide and was kind of cutting up his line, so he just needs to end up replacing a guide. We just put that rod down for the rest of the trip.
Yeah,
he used it.
Good move.
Yeah,
that's always. I like to check my rod eyelets with a knife. Just kind of dig in there and make sure there's no sharded stuff. So okay, so what kind of rods are you using? Because you're throwing some really big baits. And what type rods are you using?
This trip, I actually ended up pretty much only using my Predator double extra heavy. I like the extra heavy all the way up until like a Monster Medusa. Once you get to a Monster Medusa, I end up wanting a little bit more backbone, and that ended up turning into the bait that was getting a lot of the love up there. So I kind of locked a Predator double extra heavy in my hand the whole time.
Gotcha.
But pounders and down, I feel like the pounders just pull a lot less than a Monster Medusa does. It's a lot easier to fish a pounder, in my opinion, and it's a lot easier to fish that on a extra heavy, whether it's the Stealth or the Predator. I prefer the Predator because I like it. Like a rod that has a little bit more backbone. The Stealth would also be great if you like a little bit more moderate rod. Everybody has their own preferences, so
sure. Even do you like the 2X heavy Stealth? Is that has that been pretty good this fall?
I've heard really good things from a lot of people. I don't own one right now. I've been able to throw it a few times, but it's just so rare that I'm ever throwing big rubber, and I already like my one Predator double extra heavy. I just haven't bought a Stealth double X yet.
Sure.
From the shop. So
I get
but I know Luke prefers the Stealth because he thinks it's a little bit more forgiving on biting a fish, along with his back as well.
Oh.
So he feels a little better at the end of the day.
Oh, I feel so bad for him. Jesus. The only thing I like about the one good thing about fishing with Luke is that he always knows when it's raining before me because he's taller.
That's true.
Yes, that's why I like being in the boat with him. That's the only reason. What about you, Jordan? You're using them suckers and stuff. What kind of rods are you using to sucker fish with?
I used to run St. Croix 8'6" rods. Until I started running the Thorn Bros 8'4". So Tucker, correct me. I think it's a 9 foot rod, back half 6.
You cut 6 off the tip to stiffen it up from.
Cut 6 off the tip. There you go. So I got 3 of those, and that's strictly what I use for trolling and.
But if it's a 9 foot rod and you cut 6 off the tip, it would be 8'6".
I wasn't going to question his math, Greg.
Oh, I'm sorry. My rods are 8'4". So whatever
8 inches off that. Let's do this. Yep. Let's do this together. We're going to hold up 12 fingers, or actually we're going to use 10 fingers, and you're going to look at your big toes. Now, if we take off, we've got to get to 4. We got to get to 4. So I'm going to take one toe and put it down. I'm going to take another toe and put it down. Now I'm at 10 minus 2. So now I go eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And so now I'm left with mo, and I got 6 up. And so that'd be 7 and then 8. 4 fingers are left standing. So I take 8 off. So that's how I got to that. That's how I got to that.
There's 8 inches off the tip.
8 inches off the tip. Okay,
yes.
good.
But 8'4". I just went with what Lonnie told me, so I run those 8'4" rods, and now that's all I've used for the last 3 years.
Okay.
For trolling and for sucker fishing, I use them for both.
Sure.
I love them just for two reasons. One, they're extremely forgiving and very soft. So for trolling, they really absorb a lot of the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then second, for fighting fish with clients. When they set a hook on a sucker fish, that rod really absorbs a lot of that. So they can just almost straight reel on it and work against a drag, and that rod is going to eat up most of that stuff, is what I've found, in that we don't lose a lot of fish between the GT rigs and that rod. We don't lose many fish. We obviously lose a few, but sucker fishing, the hookup percentage.
It's gotta be the rig.
It's gotta be the rig. Yep.
Gotta be
it's
the
the 3
rig.
hooks.
Fuck that rod. It's gotta be the rig.
Yeah, right.
Gotta be the rig.
Yep.
No, that's yeah, I get that. No, I like those rods as well. They do seem to hold up really nice. They absorb a lot of the fight, and people can really fight fish. What kind of reel are you using to sucker fish with?
It's a Daiwa. Once again, I'm not 100% sure. I just go in the shop at Thorn Bros and ask them which reel to use, but it's a Daiwa clicker. I don't know which one it is. It's a 300 series clicker reel. I can't think of the name of it, but
blue and black.
I got two. Yep, it's blue.
Blue and black. It's probably is it the Saltist line counter?
There you go. Soltis. Yep, I got 2 of those.
Okay.
So that's what I'm running. Well, actually, I got 4 of them, but that's what I run. Yep.
Do you ever have any problem with the line counters on those resetting or not wanting to set?
Yeah, I got one of them that doesn't seem like it wants to count line at all. It sits
mine
at
just
999
wants. Mine counts in like metrics or something. I don't know. It's
really?
It's super fucked up. I don't know what's going on with it, but yeah, no, those reels have a nice torque behind them too. They have a big handle and everything. You can really get some leverage there. Mike, what are you doing up there in Hayward? I mean, you're casting those beavers. What kind of rod you using?
So I'm kind of the odd man out in this conversation. We're throwing chaos rods in my boat. Very similar rod to that stealth rod. Both are great rods. I obviously use Thorn Brother rods and other species. I am going to get a couple stealths. I did talk to you guys earlier this year about doing that, but just like me, I never followed through with anything. So yeah, that's gonna be a winter project, Tucker. So stay on me, pal.
Sounds good.
But yeah, for cats, and we're just throwing 2020 Assault Sticks. Great rod. I'm doing a lot of the 9'6" shock and awe, which is their XX heavy.
That was also Tucker's nickname in high school.
What's that? XX heavy?
No, shock and awe.
Oh, damn.
Very good, Michael. Very good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, what? Let me ask you: are those split grip or full cork?
No, I like the full cork.
Thank God. Who likes split grip rods? Jesus.
I'm all about full cork. Yep.
I mean, split grips. I mean, I remember when they first come out, they were cool. They were like, "Look at this! You can see more pole." And then we learned that we don't want to see more pole. It just hurts if you're throwing any type of jerk bait or any type of soft plastic. Doesn't it just kill your ribs?
Oh, absolutely. Well, honestly, what I tell people that come into the boat too is that, you have full cork. You use that armpit of yours to really squeeze down on that rod, and that reel just lays into your hand. I've just had way too many people squeezing the living daylights, palming that reel, and they're complaining about how their hand hurts. And my hand hasn't hurt in years, and you just squeeze down hard on that thick cork in your freaking armpit there, and just let the rod just kind of lay into your hand, and then all the power is right there.
Sounds like a Harlequin romance novel.
Yeah, I'm working on one right now.
What is the I never, I had some split grips. Now if I try to fish with a split grip, I feel it just doesn't even feel right. It's not a good deal. But so what are you using for your live bait stuff?
the live bait, I'm running 130-pound fins braid. I just like that heavier stuff.
Me too.
There's a lot of force on that line when you go from a slack hole to really sharply snapping up on it. I've seen a lot of the braid snap, and I honestly think it doesn't necessarily matter the braid; it matters the pound test.
Sure. I mean, that's the thing with braid. I mean,
when it goes, it goes.
And you end up on your ass.
Yeah.
I've seen.
It sounds like a 22 goes off, and like that's what happens when that stuff breaks. Not from a nick or anything. It sounds like a 22 was shot, and that's when it explodes.
And I'm a firm believer that 80-pound braid is way too easy to break. On a sucker set, and so I'm like you. I use 130-pound. I don't think mine's fins. I think I don't even know what the hell I'm using. But it's 130-pound, and I'm a big believer in 130, 150-pound. It's all about the diameter of the line. It's all about when you're talking super braids, you get into those 80 pounds. That's diameter of 15 or 17-pound test, and you got to have that, that thick line to withstand that shock of a hook set. And
absolutely,
to me, it's a big thing. What kind of rigs you running?
I'm kind of making my own rigs. I do get the Shumway clipping go, the clips itself, and then I modify them from that.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of those leads are too big, and I really match them up. So I like one hook directly behind the gill plate on one of those suckers, really close to the head, and one of them just before the dorsal, right on top, and definitely stagger them. If these muskies are going to grab them by the tail, they can take the sucker. Yeah. For all I care. Because a lot of times when those muskies grab them by the tail, they're going to hang on to it for way too long of a time period before they even decide to move it around, and that could result in some dead fish.
That's when you light a cigarette and you just
you
sit down.
You just had to say that since I live up in Hayward, Greg?
Exactly. Hey, shit, I live in Kentucky, man. You ain't got no smokers.
You think that we just pile them all up in bathtubs filled with ice cubes nowadays still?
Oh my God! If I seen that, that would be my screensaver.
Just go to Clam Lake in northern Wisconsin. You'll see some.
I fished Lower Clam.
Nice.
I fished that. There was a lot of little critters in there. But Tucker, you're there at the shop at Thorne Brothers, and what have you seen this fall? I mean, is it bait wise? What have you seen's been pretty popular, and kind of how's it been?
So this is always kind of our slow time of the year. It's either the diehard muskie fishermen or which usually most of them have all the stuff they need by now, and kind of those people getting ready for ice fishing, and then everybody else is off hunting, it seems like. But for the people that are coming in and buying some stuff this time of year for muskie stuff, it's been a lot of swim baits. A lot of the big swim baits, like the big swimming dogs, not the monsters as much, and then like 12-inch Poseidons, and a lot of those, or some of those action plastics as well.
Okay.
Yep.
Are you seeing many guys like buying cranks, any trolling stuff, or?
Yeah. There's still some people that are doing the trolling stuff, more of the slammer stuff we're seeing, and then obviously the supernatural stuff, the matlocks, the headlocks have been doing well.
Yeah. Have you noticed any of that slowing down, or like the matlock headlock? Is it still selling pretty good?
I mean, slowed down for sure, but it's still always at the top for the trolling stuff.
Sure.
I think a lot of people have just stopped trolling as much around us, at least. Seems like it's turned into a lot of either casting or sucker fishing.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering, Jordan, what have you noticed this fall? I mean, you said that there was a shallow water bite. What baits have been good for you this fall?
Well, it's going to sound kind of crazy, but until the water hit about 52 degrees, we were still moving and catching fish on Cannonball Juniors.
Nice.
Which was absolutely mind blowing. It was actually a client that hopped in the front of my boat, and since we were so shallow, pulling suckers, he decided to throw a Cannonball Junior. He moved 3 fish that day. We ended up catching one of them that he moved, and so that turned into our little recipe when we're going in shallow.
Uh-huh.
If we have 3 people, we're throwing somebody's throwing a surface bait, and then we're dragging suckers behind it. And then if we were working edges, by far the best bait was a 1.5 pounder from Thorn, the white with a chartreuse tail, and then a bar fighter. Any dive and rise that you could just let sit.
Why does everyone say bar fighter? My bar never fought, never has fought. How far down do you get it to go?
I only have one of my bar fighters that will get down to that 8-foot range.
I had none of mine that would get down there. They would get. I don't think mine could swim. They would flounder.
I'm telling you, Greg, I got 3 of them. 3 other ones that don't get down that deep. They still swing, they still belly roll, but they don't dive like that.
Mine don't mine never belly roll. My bellied upped. They didn't do
No, I have one bar fighter, Greg. One of my 5 that it's an all white Cisco one that seems to do really well. So I'll have somebody throw that. That's been doing really well, but the 1.5 pounder, it has just been that if we're casting, that's been the bait that's been getting bit. If you can throw the biggest rubber on Minnetonka, that's kind of what's been the deal. Yeah, I have a 2 pounder I just put hooks on, and as soon as I get my boat back this week, that's what I'll be throwing. It seems like with the biggest bait we can throw right now, really slow, and like Tucker was saying, the big pauses has been a big deal. We've been playing the stop and wait game.
Sure.
So when you get to the boat, just let that thing sit there and look at your partner and be like, all right, who's going to move it first? And it seems like, you let it sit, you go to jerk again, and you got a fish on it. That's been the bite when we've been casting. But I haven't done a ton of casting lately. It's been a lot of sucker stuff. But when we were casting, it was that 1.5 pounder and diving rises that could stay buoyant. Anything that could stay down in that 6-foot range, we could get fish to come out. And then if we could get fish to come out and we couldn't get them to bite casting, we'd swing through right after dark with suckers, and we could usually get them to maybe play with it at least, maybe get a bite.
Cool. What about you, Mike? What's been your go-to this fall?
Well, yeah, like I said, the beaver's been hot lately, but been mixing it up, throwing some grandmas mixed in. I have to say that Bondi Royal Orba blind casted. I have to say blind casted so people don't think I'm sniping. But that thing has been a cool bait to toss down a deep break. Let me tell you, because you can let that thing slide all the way down that break and work it really, really slow. And we've been seeing and get bit on those quite often up until like a week ago. But yeah, that's been kind of the program, just working up and down that whole break and trying to bring those fish up.
What the grandma you're talking about? Are you using like the bent lip deep guy?
Yeah. I like throwing a 13 or a 9 in that black silver. That's pretty much a staple color anywhere in northern Wisconsin, just so everybody knows. If anybody does troll out there, I'm actually hoping to do some trolling here soon, get rid of the last of these suckers that we have, but I think we're going to stay open for a while. But I'm excited to get out and troll some matlocks and some big grandmas too. I haven't done that in a few years, late in the fall. So,
okay.
But,
here,
all you need is a 12-inch matlock and black rice and a 13-inch Jake and that black silver, and you're ready to go.
Nice.
Or grandma, excuse me.
What's your water temps?
Right now we're anywhere from like 47 degrees and down to like 42 on the smaller lakes. I haven't been out on the smaller lakes, but that's just what I've been told. But a lot of our 3,000 plus acre bodies of water are anywhere from 45 to 47.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing over here. What's it in the cities, Jordan?
Yeah, same thing. Right around that 48 to 45 degrees.
Yeah. What was up at Vermilion, Tucker?
44, I think, was the warmest I saw, all the way down to 41.
Okay. Yeah.
The bay we launched in was
crazy how
like
cold that
37 one morning, but that was the only morning it was really cold.
All right.
Huh.
Well, it's supposed to get cold next week. Coming up, I've seen starting, or at least here where I'm at in western Minnesota, it looked like Tuesday was the last day above freezing. And then every day from there on was like 30 to mainly in the 20s. So, yeah, she's starting to get cold, starting to lock up, and I guess fall is here. But I really thought it would crash a lot harder than this. It kind of just gradually went once it finally started going. It seems to be what I've noticed at least. Yeah, so, well, guys, thanks for coming on. We've done about 40 minutes here. I just wanted to get you guys on, kind of give guys a little taste of what's happening out there. Tucker, you got anything you want to promote or talk about?
Well, we can always ship you anything you need, and it'll be able to get there in a timely manner if you guys are getting out anymore for the musky stuff. And on the ice fishing side of things, we can offer you anything there as well, so we can help you out wherever you need.
All right, go to thornbros.com. Jordan, what about you?
As far as what?
I mean, do you...
Your OnlyFans.
Your only...
My
your
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
Well, no, you don't.
OnlyFans.
You don't want
I
me
know
to
you've
say
been
my
trying
name.
to hype it up, but you gotta tell them about it.
Yeah.
You guys don't want to see all that foot
OnlyFans
pictures and shit.
slash a furry squirrel at OnlyFans.
Furry squirrel.
What? You got anything you want to promote?
Oh, not too much. Not really. I mean, got a couple days open yet this fall, but if you guys want to get out fishing next year, you can find me on Instagram or just give me a call at 507-993-4545.
All right, now come on, Jordan. You got to slow down. I mean, I was trying to write that down. I'm actually in a bathroom stall right now, and I was trying to write that on the wall, but I can't, so slow down.
Sorry. 507-993-4545. That's my phone number.
45. Okay, good.
You smart aleck.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, yeah, I'll be out on the water obviously until it locks up. I'll break ice if I need to. So, but yeah, just trying to get out as much as possible to catch as many of these things as I can.
All right. What about you, Michael?
Yeah, I got 2 more dates available this month, and then I'm done. It's family time and getting other people out on muskies that I feel are deserving of them. So, but yeah, you can reach me at area code 608-695-9073. Yeah, and just like Jordan said, next year as well, I'm already booking for next year, so get a hold of us.
All right. Well, good deal, guys. Hey, thanks for coming on. I know you guys it's a Friday night, and we all have a lot of plans.
Oh, man. I got so many Northwood 9s waiting for me in the bars.
Northwood 9s. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
It was cheeseburger night, man.
There you go. Any of them, well, I mean, if they see you have a job, they might think you have insurance. That might sway their decision.
Oh, no. I live above a bar, Greg. That keeps them all away from me.
Oh, nice.
Little pretty ones. So. Keeps me focused on the prize of fishing.
There you go.
He's got his priorities right.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, hey, thanks for coming on. Have a good night, and I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Greg.
Guys.
Thanks, Greg.